and how are we going to use states. So let's get started. Here is the agenda for today's video. What is states and what is the difference between props and states? In the last video we discussed about props. So here we are starting with states and then we will see some code samples. As I said in the props video, this is going to be the introduction video for states, and here we are specifically discussing only about theory. We are not looking at anything practically. In the next video that is dedicated for practical video where we'll be creating states and see how we can use it in the project. Let's get started with what is states. So states are nothing but a JavaScript object that is dynamic, that actually access within the component. That's what the state is. You can simply think that state is nothing but an object that helps you to maintain the state, the current state of the component within that component. That's what the behavior is. If state changes, then obviously the components is also get changed. That's how it is. Once the state changed, component changed, then obviously the component supposed to go through the re-rendering process. Next, here you can see this is the important point. Props, whenever you are having props, that actually use it to pass data between the component. But in case of states, we are not going to pass the data anywhere. Instead, we try to maintain that data local to that component. And you can able to change states data as well. That is not possible with props. Okay, let's see some code example. So here, when I shown an example for props, we haven't done anything extra like importing something, but in case of states, right, you're supposed to import a hook method. In the introduction itself, I would have explained what the hook methods are, and here is the first hook method that we are discussing, which is nothing but use state. And then function, as usual, I'm creating a function component, and this is how we have to use state hook method. So I have a use state. This is nothing but the state that I'm creating, and this 0 is nothing but the default value for the state that I created. And for this use state hook method, it returns an array that I am destructuring by having this count and then set count. Count is a variable that hold the value. Set count is a variable that hold the function. So in a high level, use state is a hook method that helps you to handle or maintain state of the component. This use state hook method returns two different data. One is the state value, another one is a function that helps you to change the state value. Next thing is I'm just returning a function. That's what the functionality of the component is. And if you closely look at it here, I'm having an on-click event that internally as a function. You can see that's an arrow function that present within a curly braces, because functions are specific to the JavaScript. So that's supposed to be within a curly braces. Here is the arrow function. Within this arrow function, I'm invoking set count. As said, set count is a variable that hold a function. So I am literally invoking a function that stores on the variable set count, and then I'm passing a value, the parameter. So what the parameter is? Count plus 1. Where does this count come from? That's nothing but the variable that we created. That variable hold the current value of the state, and that's what it is. I'm just incrementing it and then change the value of the state. And once the value is changed, and obviously that get printed as a text content, the button text. That's all about the things. And that's it about the counter component. Next, what is the difference? We already discussed about the difference. Props can be passed between the component from parent to child, but the state is not for passing the data. State helps you to maintain the data within the component. Next thing is, props are immutable. Once the props are created, you cannot able to modify that. But in case of states, you can do so. That's all about states. And that's it for this video. Hope you got what is a state, what is the syntax for the state, and we will be discussing practically how you can implement the states in the upcoming video. Till then, bye. Take care. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notification for all the videos that we are uploading. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. I'll be able to answer them one by one. Let's catch up on the next video. Till then, bye.